All right, welcome. Today, we're diving into the Startup Playbook for 2026. This isn't just about cool new tools. It's a whole new way of thinking about business, where AI isn't just helping you, it's a core part of your team. We're going to go from that first spark of an idea all the way to building a business that can pretty much run itself. Let's get into how you can become the architect of this new reality.
So let me just ask you straight up, is starting a business something you've been thinking about, maybe in the next year or two? Because if that idea has been rattling around in your head, then you are in the perfect spot right now. The whole game is changing, and honestly, the opportunities are bigger than they've ever been.
And that's really the key thing to get. The old playbook, the one where you write a 50-page business plan that's basically useless the second it's printed, yeah, that's pretty much over. The reason is simple. Technology, and especially AI, has completely changed the game in terms of speed, scale, and what's even possible.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the new startup blueprint. Then we'll talk numbers, what it really costs to get started. After that, we'll walk through the simple steps to make your business legit. And then, the exciting part, building an autonomous engine. We'll finish up by looking at how your job changes from being a doer to an orchestrator, and finally, to an architect.
Okay, first up, the blueprint. Look, the winning strategy for 2026 isn't about tossing out everything we've learned. It's about taking those smart, timeless, lean business ideas and plugging them into the incredible power of modern tech. That's really where the magic happens.
And at the heart of all this is the lean startup idea. Now, don't worry about the textbook definition. Here's what it really means. Instead of building something for a year in secret, you build a super simple version of your idea, get it in front of real customers, see what they actually do, and then you learn. It's all about being flexible and letting data, not your gut feeling, tell you what to do next.
All right, let's talk about the one thing that can stop any great idea in its tracks: money. Before you jump in, you have to do a serious reality check on the costs. I mean, so many amazing ideas fizzle out just because the founder didn't see the real-world expenses coming.
This is it, right? The million-dollar question, or hopefully not the million-dollar question. Everybody wants to know the magic number. And yeah, the answer is always it depends, but don't worry, we're not going to leave you with that. We can get way more specific. And this table just lays it all out. I mean, look at the difference here. If you want to open a restaurant or a big tech company, you're talking serious cash, 75 grand, maybe even $200,000 just to get the doors open. But look all the way at the top. A business selling digital products online, the barrier to entry is almost non-existent.
And this is exactly why these models are exploding in popularity. You see that digital products and online services are the big winners here. It makes perfect sense, right? You completely get rid of one of the biggest costs and headaches in business, buying and storing physical stuff. Let's just sit with this number for a second. $200. I mean, for less than what you might spend on a nice dinner, you can launch a whole business. We're talking ebooks, online courses, digital art, you name it. It has literally never been this easy to turn what you know into a real business. But of course, launching is just step one. To grow, you need customers, and that means marketing. So here's a great little rule to keep in your back pocket. Once you start making money, plan on putting about 10% of that right back into marketing. It creates this awesome little growth engine that helps your business not just survive, but actually grow and scale. Okay, so you've got your lean idea, you've figured out your budget. Now for the fun part. Let's make this thing real. Let's turn it from just an idea or a side project into a proper, legally recognized business.
Now, I know this part can seem super intimidating. There's all this legal stuff, forms, government websites. It feels complicated. But trust me, it's so much more straightforward than you think. We're just going to use the UK limited company process as an example to show you that you really don't need a law degree to get this done.
So what does it actually take? It's basically 4 simple steps. First, you pick a unique name nobody else has. Easy enough. Second, you get a UK mailing address, which you can just buy online for a small fee. Third, you verify who you are. This is a new, important step for 2026 to cut down on fraud. And last, you pay the government fee, which is just £50. And that's it. No crazy legal maze, just a few simple boxes to tick.
All right, here we go. This is the part I know you've been waiting for. This is where we get into the stuff that truly changes the entire game. We're moving past just simple automation, like setting up email replies, and we're talking about building a truly autonomous engine for your business.
The tech behind this is called agentic AI, and that word autonomously is everything. Here's an analogy. A simple chatbot is like a brand new intern. You have to tell them exactly what to do for every single tiny task. An AI agent, on the other hand, is like your star senior manager. You just give them a goal and they figure out all the steps, use all the right tools, and get it done without you having to constantly check in.
This comparison just makes it so clear. In 2024, automation was very if this, then that. You had to be the one prompting it all the time. But in 2026, it's all about autonomy. You give the AI a goal, and it prompts itself. It reasons. It course corrects. It even has agents that talk to each other to get things done. This is what lets you stop being the main doer and become the strategic orchestrator.
Now, I know this might all sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's already happening right now. Check out this case study they called Project Mercury. It was a software company with a problem I bet a lot of you can relate to. Their expensive, talented sales team was wasting more than half their day just chasing down dead-end leads. Sound familiar?
So what they did was create a team of 3 AI agents. The first one, the researcher, was like a private detective, constantly scanning LinkedIn and the news for signs that a company was ready to buy. Then, the outreach agent would take that info and write these incredibly personal emails. And finally, the coordinator agent handled all that annoying back and forth to get a meeting scheduled. The human salesperson, their only job was to show up to the meeting that magically appeared on their calendar. And the result? Just, wow. A 50 times increase in output. Let me just say that again so it sinks in. 50 times. And they did this without hiring a single new person. They just let their humans do what humans are best at, closing deals, and let the autonomous engine do all the grunt work. I mean, just imagine what you could do with that kind of power.
So once this amazing engine is humming along, you just get to kick back on a beach, right? Well, not quite. Your role doesn't just vanish, it gets an upgrade. You stop being the person turning the cranks, and you become the orchestrator of the whole symphony. And that comes with a totally new set of things you need to watch out for.
This is your new to-do list. First, you've got to watch for something called agent drift. That's when an AI accidentally learns a bad habit, like maybe it starts offering discounts you never approved. You also need to ground your agents. That just means connecting them to a database of facts so they don't make stuff up. And finally, you'll probably want a good 80-20 rule. Let the AI do 80% of the work, but have a human do that last 20%. A final sanity check to make sure everything sounds right and protects your brand.
And that leads us to the final evolution of your role. See, being an orchestrator is about managing the system you already have. But being an architect, that's about designing the systems of tomorrow. This is where you get to be truly creative, to dream up new ways to connect these autonomous agents, to experiment, and to build something that nobody else has even thought of yet.
So I guess the big question to leave you with is this. As this technology becomes totally normal, the choice isn't going to be if you use it, but how. Are you going to stay stuck in the weeds doing all the day-to-day tasks? Or are you going to step up and become the architect, designing a business that grows, scales, and works for you? The future belongs to the architects, and it's a future you can start building right now.